Hi, I want to do this video to talk to you quickly, to encourage you and to give you some reminders as you are continuing on in this online course. um, Keep up with the work. Try to stay on pace, right, with the work in the folders. Don't fall too far behind by any means. It's very difficult to well, it's easy right now to think in terms of, oh, an incomplete. Maybe I'll take an incomplete, or rather to entertain that as an option. But really, you don't want an incomplete in these classes. Please get the work done on time so that you can earn a good grade. Um, the incompletes tend to drag off through the summer or through the winter break, and then they drag into the next semester, and then all of a sudden you're trying to finish old stuff that you can't remember what the assignment was about. You can't really remember what I was asking, and you have all this new work to do with your new classes. So please stay away from incompletes. I want you to re devote yourself, reconnect with your goal, reestablish your goal of getting this work done, getting this class done. I'm going to help you move on to the other classes. All right. Please remember that I respond best to email to my Tri-C account, matthew.horn@tri-c.edu, or my Kent State account, mhorn3@kent.edu. That's by far the best way to contact me. I will try to check the messages on Blackboard, but I often forget. So it's just please, email is the best way. As far as submitting your work, I would really appreciate it if you stayed away from attachments. In my mind, it's just easier almost for you, instead of going through the process of saving and attaching, just to copy and paste. If you decide to do your work, say, in a Word file first, isn't it almost easier just to copy and paste it into the submission box? Now, it's a good idea to do it on the Word file first and save it for backup. But even if you don't do that, you have the submission history button on any of these assignments that you can. So if you want to see what you wrote a week ago, you can go into that assignment, click open it again, go down and click on the submission history, get your work. But that was a digression. What I want you to do, whether you're typing it, if you're typing it on a Word file, is please don't attach it. Just type it or copy and paste it right into the submission box. Or just type it directly the first time right in the submission box. It saves me a lot of time. I really appreciate that. Also, for every 10 attachments I get, there's one or two that requires me to save it to my desktop, and I don't really. It takes a long time to do that. My antivirus software is going crazy with it, trying to check it, and I would rather not do that. So if you could just send it straight in. Now, if you have attached work, and then I shuffle it back to you saying, please copy and paste, rest assured, I had to assign a grade to that so that you get the note. I will drop that low grade, and I will give you what you deserve for your good work. So there's no penalty in all that. I needed to actually grade the thing so that it would get into the system and back to you, and so you could see the note where I ask you to resubmit. But yeah, I will fix that grade as soon as you send in the work in the submission box. Okay. I encourage you to check out these videos. That's part of the time I expect you to spend in the class, and really, that's I'm hoping that you can get a sense of how I evaluate your work by watching the videos, the models, that sort of thing. So please do watch. One thing I want all of you to watch out for too is I never give a negative score, never. So, however, when I go to enter your scores, there is a hyphen in the default box. I mean, it's just there. I don't know why it's there in this version of Blackboard, but so I have to highlight it and delete it and then put in the 3 or the 3.5 or the 4. Sometimes because I may somehow it may just manage to remain. And so when I think I'm entering a 3.5 or a 3.6, I'm actually entering in a negative 3.6 because that crazy hyphen is there. And if so, check your scores, and if ever you see a negative score, you let me know. Please let me know. An email, I'll fix it, because it's not negative. It's positive. I never give a negative grade. Okay, but already twice in my experiences of teaching online, I've had students tell me I've got a negative score, so I know it can happen. And the last thing I want to remind you of is that for all these different assignments, Everything connects. Now, you might not believe me now, but in the way I think about it, the way I'm trying to design assignments, I try to make it all connect. So take for example the level 1 critique. You know, when you come to do research work or semi-professional work in written analysis and that sort of stuff, you need to know how to do a good summary. You need to how to recognize when you are interjecting your own personal evaluation, and when that evaluation is centered on taste rather than objective reasons. What about this assignment about the Wi-Fi and the USPS mailboxes? You know, and I asked you to find a connection. You need to develop the skill to see legitimate connections in apparently disconnected material. That will help you write. That will help you make interesting observations. What about this interesting to me article? Well, you know, if you look through the posts and you realize, you know, I had like 2 people reply to me, and they were all like one-liners, and then you find someone else, and that person has like 15 people replying to them. They picked the more interesting article. Now, the one you picked might have been interesting to you, which is fine. I gave you a forfeit or whatever. But are you beginning to sense that there are some things that are legitimately more interesting to more people at once, even though individually it might not be interesting to you, but and this is how you would differ from the group, to the group it's interesting. So when you come to pick a topic to do research on, you might think to yourself, am I actually writing about something that my professor and more people than I would be interested in? And when you pick those topics, you get better grades. So, you know, obviously we're all interested in many things. I'm just trying to get you to see, I'm sure you've thought about this, but let's just formally recognize it, that some things are legitimately interesting to you, but they have no interest to a lot of other people. I mean, the majority of other people will not be interested in that. So when you come to write stuff, to pick topics to write about that you know you need to address to a general audience, picking topics that you know inherently, just because of what they are going to be interesting to more people than not, those are worth doing. All right, because automatically you're helping procure and maintain an audience. So, you know, the one thing you had to do with that assignment is obviously anything that's interesting to you is fair game, but can you begin to sense that there are topics that are both interesting to you and the majority of readers? Those are the ones you should be writing on when it comes to like picking topics and stuff like that. So see, that connects too. Trust me on this, all right? Everything I do in this class, I'm trying to connect it to these big goals. You might not see it now, but I hope at the end of the semester you will, and I especially hope after 3 years when you take this class, you can look back and say that was a valuable class. See, that's the type of evaluation I'm really interested in. So anyway, keep it up, all right? And I want you to know I'm doing my best to stay up with the grading. And although we don't have face-to-face, person-in-person contact, I want you to know that you know, I'm available for communication via email, and I want to also give you this personal touch in any way it is through the video. So please watch these. All right, take care and full speed ahead.